Ever wondered why some people who seem to be making tons of money never actually get rich? Or why some people with incredible potential just can't seem to get ahead financially? The answer might be simpler and more powerful than you think. It's not about their income, their investments, or even their luck. It's about their ego. Today, we read diving deep into the silent wealth killer that is your ego, and how it might be secretly sabotaging your financial growth. Let's start with the most obvious trap: spending to impress, not to progress. We all know someone like this. Maybe it's even us sometimes. You get a raise, and what's the first thought? A new car? A designer watch? A bigger apartment in a fancier neighborhood? Your ego whispers, you've earned it. You need to show people you've made it. So you spend, and you do impress people. But who are you impressing? Mostly strangers or people who don't genuinely care about your long-term success. Every dollar spent on impressing others is a dollar not spent on your future self, not invested, not compounding, not building real, lasting wealth. It's a classic case of prioritizing looking rich over actually being rich. This leads us right into the next point. Pride turns valuable advice into personal insults. Imagine a friend who's great with money sees your spending habits and gently suggests, "Hey, have you thought about creating a budget or investing some of that?" How does your ego react? Instead of seeing it as a helpful tip from someone who cares, your ego flares up. Who are they to tell me what to do with my money? Are they saying I'm irresponsible? Suddenly, a piece of gold standard advice feels like a slap in the face. This prideful defensiveness builds a wall around you, blocking out wisdom and keeping you stuck in your old, destructive patterns. Real financial growth requires humility, the ability to listen and learn, even when the truth is a little uncomfortable. And what happens when those patterns lead to mistakes? Well, the ego absolutely refuses to admit them. Let's say you made a bad investment. You put a significant amount of money into a hot stock everyone was talking about, and it tanked. The logical thing to do is cut your losses, learn from the mistake, and move on. But your ego can't handle being wrong. It tells you, just hold on, it'll bounce back. Selling now means you failed. So you hold on and you watch your investment shrink further and further. Admitting a mistake feels like a personal failure. So instead, you let a small financial error snowball into a massive one. Wealthy people understand that losses are part of the game. They admit mistakes quickly, learn the lesson, and adjust their strategy. They don't let their pride turn a simple error into a financial catastrophe. This ties into a dangerous mindset where showing wealth becomes more important than building it. The ego craves external validation. It wants the fancy car in the driveway, the exotic vacation photos on social media, the designer labels on your clothes. The problem is, these things are often liabilities, not assets. They drain your bank account instead of filling it. True wealth isn't about what you show. It's about what you own that generates more money. It's the assets that work for you while you sleep: stocks, real estate, businesses. The person quietly building a portfolio of dividend stocks might not look as flashy as the person leasing a new luxury car every 2 years. But guess who's actually on the path to financial freedom? The ego chases the symbols of wealth, while wisdom chases the substance of wealth. This chase for validation also pushes people into making incredibly risky decisions just to look smart. The ego loves a shortcut. It loves the idea of getting rich quick and being the genius who figured it out. This leads people to fall for get-rich-quick schemes or to take on massive, uncalculated risks. They might dump their life savings into a highly speculative crypto coin because they heard a story of someone making millions, wanting to be the next success story. They're not investing based on research or a solid strategy. They're gambling to feed their ego's desire to feel clever and superior. Prudent, long-term investing might seem boring to the ego, but it's the proven path to building sustainable wealth. The tortoise almost always beats the hare in the financial race. Now, let's talk about the silent killer of budgets everywhere: comparison. Social media has made this 10 times worse. You're scrolling through your feed, and you see your friend on a lavish trip to Bali, a former classmate showing off their new home, a colleague with a brand new electric car. The ego immediately kicks in. It's the voice of comparison that says, "They have that, why don't I? I work just as hard. I deserve that too." This fuels a cycle of unnecessary spending, often on credit, just to keep up. This keeping up with the Joneses is a game you can never win because there will always be someone with more. It's a treadmill of spending that leads to debt and financial anxiety. All because your ego can't stand the thought of being left behind. Financial peace comes from focusing on your own path, your own goals, and your own definition of a rich life, not someone else's highlight reel. Another subtle way the ego holds you back is by preventing you from learning from people who are doing better. This is a tough one. It's hard for the ego to admit that someone else, especially someone younger or someone you know personally, might know more than you about money. Instead of asking them for advice, learning from their strategies, or reading their book recommendations, the ego gets jealous or dismissive. Oh, they just got lucky, or their parents probably helped them. These excuses are just defense mechanisms to protect a fragile ego. Truly successful people are lifelong learners. They actively seek out mentors and information from those who have achieved what they want to achieve. They see others' success not as a threat, but as a blueprint. They have the humility to say, I don't know everything. Teach me. All of these ego-driven behaviors, the comparison, the need to impress lead to what we can call status purchases that delay real growth. Think about it. A $10,000 luxury handbag or a $5,000 watch is a status purchase. What if, instead of buying that item, you invested that $10,000? In 30 years, with a reasonable 8% average annual return, that could grow to over $100,000. The handbag will be out of style and worth a fraction of what you paid. The investment will be funding your retirement. The ego demands immediate gratification and status now. Financial wisdom demands delayed gratification for freedom later. Every time you choose a status purchase over an investment, you are literally trading your future wealth for a fleeting moment of ego satisfaction. This is how temporary success can turn into a long-term loss. Someone might have a great year, land a big bonus, or sell a business. Their income skyrockets, and so does their ego. They think, this is my new normal. I'm a genius. They immediately upgrade their lifestyle to match this new, higher income. They buy the mansion, the fleet of cars, the country club membership. But what if that income was a one-time event? What if the market shifts? Because they inflated their lifestyle so quickly, they didn't build a safety net. They didn't save or invest enough of that windfall. When their income returns to normal or drops, they're suddenly trapped by massive expenses they can no longer afford. Their ego's premature celebration turned a huge win into a devastating, long-term financial burden. So what's the antidote to all of this? It's one simple, powerful word: humility. Humility is the ultimate financial superpower. Humility allows you to live below your means, not to be cheap, but to be strategic. It lets you prioritize saving and investing over showing off. Humility allows you to listen to advice and learn from others without feeling defensive. It allows you to admit when you've made a mistake, cut your losses, and get smarter for next time. Humility keeps you from falling for get-rich-quick schemes because you understand that real wealth is built slowly and deliberately. It protects your money from foolish decisions and multiplies your growth by keeping you focused on what truly matters: your long-term financial security and freedom. Ego is loud, flashy, and fragile. Humility is quiet, consistent, and strong. It's the bedrock upon which lasting wealth is built. So take a moment to reflect. Where might your ego be making financial decisions for you? Are you buying things to impress? Are you resistant to advice? Are you comparing your journey to someone else's? Recognizing the ego's influence is the first step to taking back control. Choose humility. Choose to learn, to save, to invest for your future self. That's the real secret to winning the money game. Thanks so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more content on building real, lasting wealth. Let me know in the comments one way you choosing to overcome your ego in your financial life. See you in the next video.